Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So today is Earth Day, and during Earth Day, a lot of people like to go outside and do something nice for our planet because it's what keeps us alive, right? We need the planet to breathe, to survive, to eat food. So our planet is very important to us and important to, I think, our universe. And so today I was deciding that I was going to plant some peas in my garden, my community garden, because I don't have my own garden. Um, and so I have all of these pots of pea plants. And so then I was on my way out, but then Leo got in front of me and tripped me and made me lose some of my pea plants. So right here, if you can see, I have them all filled. This is a picture of before Leo knocked me over, tripped me. And so here are the amount of pea plants that I had, and I was about to plant in the community garden. So from the looks of it, how many pea plants did I have? And what's the most efficient way to count the number of pea plants in this little carrier? Miss T. So how many pea plants did I have before Leo tripped me? Sorry.
So I noticed that it's 5 in each row, so 5, 10, 15.
Beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna show that thinking really quickly. Just quickly show the rows that Miss T represented. So right here we have a row. Remember, when you go side to side, that's called a row. When you go from top to bottom or bottom to top, that's called a column. And so there are 5 in the row, and she counted by fives because we love counting by fives in the first grade. 5, 10, 15. So altogether, I had 15 pea plants that I was going to plant in my community garden. But my sneaky little cat loves to wrap himself around my feet. So that's exactly what he did. He wrapped himself around my feet, and I tripped, and some of those plants fell on the floor. All right, I'm going to show you the picture that I have left. These are the number of pea plants I have now. Sorry. There we go. So here, I know, Ms. Rosales.
That's a lot.
That was a lot. So now, how many pea plants do I have to plant in my community garden? So I want to make it into an equation, and I'm going to use what Miss T said previously in the other photo that we saw. She noticed that we had 15 pea plants all together, right? I had 15 pea plants that I was going to plant in my community garden, but now how many do I have left? So some fell out. How many of them fell? So teachers, when you have an idea, just put a thumb up. Miss Rosales.
So looking at the empty spaces, there are 5 empty spots.
So I'm going to draw or circle those empty spots. I see 3 empty spots here, and then 2 empty spots here. And I'm going to use an equation to help us represent that in red. So then 3 plus 2 equals 5. So 5 plants fell out, right? 5 plants fell out. So up here, if I'm using this equation still, we know that we had 15, just like Miss T told us, and now we took out 5 because 5 plants fell out of my tray. And now how many plants do I have left to plant in my community garden? Miss Hernandez?
There would be 10 left.
And how did you figure that out?
Back the ones that fell out, I know that we started with 15, but if I take out the 5 that fell, that would take me down to 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10.
Perfect. And I know you that's like I think of using the counting back strategy when you said that. And so doing a little bubble, thinking bubble, and then having 5 dashes because we're counting back 5 times, or 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our numbers. So just like you said, Ms. Hernandez, we have 15 in our head and we're counting back 5. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then 10. And we left off at 10. Perfect. So now I want us to think about this problem because this reminds me a lot of the problems that we've been talking about in our story problems. So before, in the other picture, the first picture that I showed you, I had a number, I had 15 pea plants, but then 5 fell out. So they are no longer here. And we need to remember that when we're talking about story problems. We really need to think about the problem realistically. If something falls out of a tray, it's not there anymore. It's gone. It either got destroyed or it's kind of ruined. Like in this case, they were all over the floor and I didn't have them anymore. So I had to sweep it up and kind of put it in the trash because I didn't know where any of the pea seeds were. Everything was on the ground. It was a big mess. So these were the only ones I had that were left that I could plant. So this is my difference. This is what I have left over and that I can use. So today when we're talking about our story problem, I really want us to envision the story and think of realistically what is happening. Because if I were to use this story, it wouldn't be an addition problem because I didn't get any more pea plants. I lost some. So we had less than what we started with in the beginning. So teachers, is there anything else that you want to share with our students about what we notice in this photograph? Ms. Rosales.
And just to revoice what you said, we started with a large amount and then the amount decreased in size or amount here. So we had a large number and then it got smaller. Mm-hmm. So thinking about that, just going back again, when we're working with our problems, think about what's happening. Is that number going to get smaller? Is that number going to get bigger?
So were there any other things to talk about? Ms. T?
I also noticed that there are some potted plants that actually have plants that are growing out of them and some that don't. So I thought of another number sentence that I could use too, because I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if that one has a little plant. It's kind of hard to see, but 7 for sure have a little bit of green leaves. And then the rest of them, since I know that there's 10, that means plus 3 equals 10.
So it kind of reminded me of also using a number bond as a tool, right? Mm-hmm. Because you knew that there was 10 as a whole, and I'm going to write that just to help me to look at it. So we know that there's 10 as a whole on this picture, and she said that there were 7 pots that already have the green leaves, already. And I think she counted this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 right here, Miss T?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks like it might be growing something. Yeah. And so she knows her facts that add up to 10. So she knows 7 plus 3 more makes 10. And that's why some of the addition problems are really great when you memorize them. So then you're able to manipulate the numbers and figure out your subtrahend or your add-ins. Perfect. Thank you, Ms. T. And Ms. Hernandez, did you have something else that you noticed in this photograph?
Actually, yes, I was counting it a different way. Sure. In my head, I was looking at 3 at the top, plus 3 in the middle, plus 4 at the bottom, and that makes 10 altogether in the tray.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I counted it when I first saw this picture, except I saw it in columns. So you saw them in rows, just like this. And I'm going to, that's not a very bright color to see. Here we go. So you saw them in rows, just like Miss T did in the beginning when she saw 5 in each row in my first photograph. So in row 1, you notice that there were 3 plus on the second row, there are 3 plus the last row are 4. And looking at this, I'm sure, Ms. Hernandez, that you could also use your doubles to help
Mhm.
us figure out what the answer to this problem is. So we know 3 plus 3 is 6,
6,
and then 6 plus 4 is
10.
10. So that was using a friendly number strategy to help us solve the problem 10. And I love the way of looking at that because there are different ways that we can see addition and subtraction in our What Do You Notice warm-ups. So thank you everyone for joining us for our warm-up. Remember, this warm-up is to help us get into math thinking and to prepare ourselves for the math work that we're about to do. And remember that when we do story problems, we really need to think about them as a real story or a story in a book that are real and have real consequences. And just like this, things fall out and things are gone, and that means subtraction. So have fun, and if you notice anything else, please make sure that you post a picture of your noticings and upload it to Seesaw so that we can have friends share their ideas on our lesson, because that's what I want to start doing, is having friends sharing friends' work on our lesson time so that we can show you what other people are doing and what they notice. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.